skincare is a time for you to be with yourself, with your most raw sense of self. And it's a time for you to reflect on yourself and maybe other things that go on. I like to put some calming music on, usually before bed. I still try and have the morning routine, but oftentimes that's just slapping on a moisturizer, be it a light one or a heavy one, depending on how dry and crusty I feel on the outside. Yeah, because caring for your inner self can enhance your outer self and the way you perceive yourself, because the more time you put and effort you put into how you look and present yourself, the more important you're going to feel with how you look, the better you're going to feel about how you look, because you've spent all this time getting to know yourself, caring for yourself, inner and outer self. You're going to start to appreciate your features and how things are. So that's why a lot of the times people say adding in a routine can really help with mental health and can help you, in a sense, feel better mentally. And that's why there's a thing of, oh, you're sad, you should put a fucking face mask on, when it's not just a face mask, it's deeper than that. It's caring for your outer self in an effort to heal what's on the inside. And oftentimes it's at step 1, 2, or 3. It's not something that alone can cure, let's say, your depression, but it's something that can help you forward your life and keep going by adding in a simple routine. This is why people also recommend a better diet and being healthier, because these things generally make you feel better about yourself and your body and your outer shell. So yeah, skincare might not be the end and be all of self-care. However, it is one of these steps, be it the first, the second, or third, in caring for yourself mentally and physically. It's quite important, I feel, to get to know yourself, to get to know your skin and how it behaves and reacts with certain things, or your features, which define who you are as a person, and learning to love how you come naturally foremost. It's a way for you to learn to love yourself, your outer self, and to learn and appreciate every single feature that your face holds, and to get to know things on a deeper level. Self-care is a time for you to be with yourself and care for your outer self, which will enhance your inner. The better you feel on the outside about how you look, the better you'll feel on the inside. And studies have shown this time and time again, just having any kind of structure or routine, be it diet, exercise, or skincare, just any kind of thing to get ready, it really does help push you and motivate you to wake up the next day and get on with life. I also thought it was important that I mentioned I do wear makeup from time to time, but honestly, it has gone down a lot, just because I realised I don't particularly need it in my day-to-day life, and I don't need it to feel validated. That's not to say that's what makeup is for. I enjoy doing it, and I enjoy the act of putting it on, and that's also me time and care time for me and myself. But I've also learned that I'm okay without it, and I don't need it every single day to feel good about myself and how I look. I do have a baby face, and yes, makeup does help with that, but I'm also a grown adult, and a little bit of makeup shouldn't change how I feel about the way I look. And even with my makeup, I try and enhance what I have rather than cover up, which honestly most people nowadays do. But I do think there's something else with the fact of you can still look put together without makeup and feel good about the way you look and feel like you've tidied yourself up without necessarily putting a bunch of makeup on and spending, let's say, hours or half an hour, depending on what you would do with makeup. Just honestly brushing your eyebrows, putting some Vaseline on and some lotion can make you feel so much better on an outer sense, which would enhance the inner. That's my belief, at least. And the more effort you put into your outer self, the more you're going to appreciate yourself, because you've put all this time and effort in to how you look. You're going to feel like, because of the time that you've put in, you look better and you'll feel better. It's a weird human psychological thing, honestly, but it works magically. I'm also a firm believer in the fact that your body is your temple, and no foreign things to you should enter your body or your skin. I try and make sure that all of my kind of skincare doesn't hold any alcohol, any fragrances, or any chemicals that honestly do not need to be within skincare. There's a lot of unnecessary things that companies put into skincare. Preservatives, they're completely fine. They just preserve what is already in there. But there's so many unnecessarily added factors that doesn't need to be in products. I also am hypoallergenic, as I think I've mentioned before. So my skin is very, very sensitive and rashes up or gets very red from fragrance or alcohol, and I can immediately sense when something says a promise to be natural but isn't. And on the factor of that, like, we can talk on greenwashing. Greenwashing is a whole thing now with the whole sustainability movement and the more natural is better movement. Greenwashing is a thing where companies portray their packaging or their advertisement in a way to tell you that it is a natural-based product, or that the product is natural and simple, when in actuality, if you were to read the ingredient list, the packaging and the ingredients do not line up. It is not a natural product. There's a lot of added factors into that. It's not that hard to look into that, but I kind of just make sure that there's no alcohol in there, no fragrance in there, no tharbins, no silicones. These are all harsh additives. Again, preservatives are fine, but stuff like fragrance really shouldn't be in skincare, like, at all. And oftentimes, honestly, when you get cruelty-free makeup and, like, vegan makeup, it is, I found at least, it is as natural as can be, because they've gone to the extra effort to be vegan. Most times the ingredients are also reflect that natural love for the environment and planet and yourself. Most of the time, again. And I get most of my skincare from Tk Maxx, because I think most of the brands are a lot more expensive that are natural. That's kind of a known thing. But just because something is expensive doesn't mean it's good. At Tk Maxx, we all know they sell a lot of stuff a lot cheaper, you know, and they sell really, 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 really fucking good skincare. And I've never had a problem. And a lot of their stuff also lists at the back that it's no this, no that, and that it is natural. And again, just one read and you can tell if fragrance is all the way up at the top, that's not going to be it. I'm not saying I don't have products without fragrance, but if I have the choice, I'll make sure that it isn't in there for the betterness of my skin, because my body is my temple and I'm not trying to put no foreign ass bitch ingredient in there. Also, just a little bit, but I did decide to do a little hair mask. Nothing too fancy. I just put pure glycerin, medical grade, and I add in just a Garnier, oh my god, Garnier hair mask. And I usually do this by, I wet my hair, put the glycerin in, which glycerin is really, really good in the summer, but not as good as in the winter, so I can finally use it again, just because of the way it interacts with the humidity and air. So yeah. You can look into that online. Like, I'm no fucking professional, but I have done a lot of research on all my shit with hair and skincare, because my outer self is a sensitive, hyperallergenic bitch, so I need to do my research. But yeah, I mean, the reason why I didn't really record the first part of me brushing my hair out, wearing it, always brush your hair wet, wearing it, putting the glycerin in, putting the mask in, is because I was just enjoying myself, watching some YouTube, watching some comic analysis videos, which we won't get into. That's like my guilty pleasure. With something that makes you happy is you do self-care. Like, it's a really, really good combo that I would recommend for a lot of people. I also decided to meditate a bit. I feel like meditating is looked at in such a way where people think it's this kind of fake weird ass thing that, like, oh, she's so spiritual, she's that blah 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 blah, she meditates. I didn't really get meditation. I don't know how to do it. I think I enjoy it most in the shower, which sounds so weird, just sitting down and letting the water fall on me as I just stretch, and just I think and take everything in as the waters are entering me, kind of like a monk would do at a riverfall. And I enjoy that metaphor, which is why I like doing it in the shower predominantly. But recently I have also implemented it doing it outside, and this for me is just a moment to either have very, very low but calming music on, or to just sit in silence, maybe hear my birds chirp a bit. That definitely helps, and it's a privilege I have as a bird mama. But it's something that, in a sense, I just stretch my body and I make sure it's stretched, and I just think, or take a moment to just think about what's been in my head rather than avoiding it and doing everything else. That is obviously one way of dealing with your things and one way of self-care. I didn't really record this because that's like me time, but also I don't know how to record because I listen to my music in headphones. Put on your dance playlist, whatever that might be it, I don't know, be it rock, be it Afrobeats, be it soca, I don't know, whatever it might be that you enjoy dancing to, put it on and shake your fucking body. Shake your body, sweat, let it loose. It's also a great way to get exercise in. And with that, I'm going to end this video. Thank you everyone for watching. If you have pets, spend some time with them as well.